shot.
Biggest surprise in the NBA.
Who saw this coming?
Cannot believe it.
You didn't expect him to be this good.
A record that was titled untouchable has been broken.
If you haven't been paying attention, one thing is certain. Nothing.
Hey.
Even if Chuck says something is.
I guarantee you.
Especially if Chuck says something is.
The Hornets are going to win.
This NBA season couldn't be further from predictable.
We'll see what's about to happen next, okay?
So don't be shocked when this competitive scramble of the playoff churns out incredible stories like your favorite streaming app.
We'll see what's about to happen.
The play-in set the tone.
First time that any of these teams are going through something like this.
A stunned crowd here at the Chase Center.
Nobody thought the champs would enter the playoffs barely clinging to their reign.
James puts up the three. Oh, it's good!
While a youth movement knocks on the door of NBA elite.
The future is here.
We have teams long forgotten in May surging to the top of mind.
West ain't never been easy. You really think you want to win it all, you got to go through it.
Tweaked formulas will be tested against unknown chemistry.
This is going to be the craziest playoffs ever.
I'm making a change today. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners do. A boss is a road that I've grown into. How many times have I shown improvement?
Game time.
You got to realize everybody has to up their level of play.
It is work, not words, that will advance their story.
Oh my goodness.
From the assist to the next shot.
Spears says, give it to me.
Moving way too humble.
From the star to the next man.
One-man band.
Two-headed monster.
Big three.
I think we're the Big 15.
This net team is loaded. Scary hours.
The most resolute will rise.
The dress of the numbers, ayy.
The future is not certain. It's up for grabs.
Okay, we'll see what's about to happen.
So pay attention.
Ayy, ayy, we'll see what's about to happen.
Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit. That's Big Boy Bravs. We got Thanos back on the podcast. All right, so this is a part 2 to the video of our predictions for the standings for both the East and the West. We just finished the Eastern Conference. Now we're about to go in on the Western Conference.
If you haven't seen it, go check our channel, click the video and watch it.
Exactly. Make sure you watch that before you watch this. But without further ado, I'm going to start it off. And the number one seed in the upcoming playoff rankings or regular season standings, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Lakers. I know a lot of people don't know what's happening with them as of yet. There's a lot of question marks. We don't know how the chemistry is going to be. But if I know anyone that can get that shit together, it's LeBron motherfucking James.
That team is an illegal team, bro. There ain't no triple, it's no, ain't no 3-headed start, it's a 4-headed start.
If that was in 2010, that'd be a super team. But you got Russell Westbrook, who they got in a sign and trade for Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, Caldwell Pope. And then they signed a bunch of veterans, Carmelo Anthony, best friend of LeBron James, and you got Wayne Ellington. You got Rajon Rondo back. You got Dwight Howard back for his third stint with the Lakers, which is crazy.
Sure.
And then you got Marc Gasol still there, who can still put in some work if he can hit the three now and then. And then you got DeAndre Jordan, who's going to sign with them eventually because he's getting waived by the Pistons, coming through a sign and trade through the Brooklyn Nets. So yeah, the Lakers, I'm going to go with number 1. And then number 2, I'm going to have to go with the Phoenix Suns coming off a finals berth. I know they got their heart broken losing to the Milwaukee Bucks, but that chemistry, that continuity, that leadership from Chris Paul is definitely going to keep that team well connected. And I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on them, thinking it's a fluke because the only reason they made it to the finals is because the Lakers were injured last year in the playoffs. But I'm going to give them credit for the regular season and think they're going to finish number 2. Number 3, I'm going to go with the Utah Jazz, coming back with the same similar team, re-signing Conley, Rudy Gobert coming off a Defensive Player of the Year award. You got Mitchell with another year under his belt. Up-and-coming superstar, you know that already. A Dwayne Wade 2.0 for people that watch, real ball fans.
Sure.
And number 4, you got Jamal Murray coming off an ACL injury. Don't know if he'll be there for the start of the season, but he'll definitely be back at some point. You got the Jokic, the Joker, the MVP, from last season. And you got Michael Porter Jr. with another year under his belt. You know, he looks like an up-and-coming star. So I expect them to be in the top 4 seed. Then number 5, you got the returning Golden State Warriors coming off a 2-year layoff, getting bounced in the play-in last season by the Grizzlies. The year before, having major injuries to their key players, losing Kevin Durant. You know, they haven't been in the playoffs, so they've been in the lottery for the most part for the last 2 seasons. But now they're going to get Klay Thompson back. Steph Curry's going to be on another tear with his running mate, his shooting partner. You know, he's coming off an MVP caliber season. And Draymond, he's a triple-double king when he's got 2 shooters in the corner or, you know, 2 shooters on the wing. And then they got their rookies, Wiseman. They got another year of Wiggins. They got Moses Moody, who's a solid shooter. They got Jonathan Kuminga, who's a prospect with a lot of raw talent and a lot of potential. And they got guys like Jordan Poole coming back as well. So I expect them to be fighting in the mix for that top 4 or 5 playoff seed. Number 6, more than likely no Kawhi Leonard because he's, you know, coming off an ACL tear. Not a major one, a partial, but you know how that man is when it comes to injuries. He likes to stay out more than he wants to make sure he's 100% before coming back. So I think he's probably going to take the season off, especially after signing a max contract now. And so I think it's all on Paul George, Reggie Jackson, those guys. And Eric Bledsoe, their acquisition, you know, he's solid. So I'm expecting them to be the 6th seed in this upcoming season. Number 7, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, maybe Goran Dragic if the Raptors decide to trade him to the Dallas Mavericks. That team seems very likely to be a top seed, but I put them at 7 because the last 2 seasons, that's where they've been. And it all really comes down to Porzingis. You know what Luka's going to do. You know what the role players are going to do, like Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, Jalen Brunson. Tim Hardaway Jr. is back because they re-signed him in the offseason. But the final piece to the puzzle, it always comes down to Kristaps Porzingis. If he can have one of those similar seasons to what he did with the Knicks, then that team can definitely be a top contender in the Western Conference. You know, they put up a battle with and without Porzingis against the Clippers the last 2 seasons in the bubble and outside the bubble. So, yeah, big things for Mavericks. All these teams, like I said, just like similar to the East, Western Conference, they all can vary depending on how everyone plays. So this is just my personal list. Number 8, Dame Dollar. Dame Dollar, CJ McCollum. They lost Carmelo Anthony, but they still got Nurkic and they still got a few other wings that can help them out. They got Covington, obviously. I think they're a playoff contender, but I think they're bottom seed. Crazy thing about this is if the season does end up shitting the bed like I'm predicting it to be, like him being a number 8 seed, there's a chance that he asks for out of Portland, and the trade with Philadelphia might switch Ben Simmons and him, which would drastically change the playoff seeding for the East and the West. I feel like Philadelphia would go up to a top 4 seed, and Blazers would more than likely fall out
of the playoffs. Yeah.
Number 9, I got the Grizzlies because that's where they were hovering last season. They were able to sneak into the playoffs by beating Golden State. And then I got number 10, Kings and Pelicans toss-up. Pelicans, they lost Lonzo Ball, which is a huge hit for Zion. But they did sign Devontae Graham, who's a natural bona fide scorer. I can predict them hovering around there in Kings. They got another year of Tyrese Halliburton healthy. They got a stud in Davion Mitchell. De'Aaron Fox is going to take another step up. They got Harrison Barnes. And Marvin Bagley can stay healthy, sky's the limit. There have been rumors about him, about Pascal Siakam being traded to the Sacramento Kings maybe. I don't know. We don't know yet. But if that's the case, obviously that would that would boost their chances in the playoff contention. But yeah, that's my list. We're going to go on to Nugent. Let me know yours. Let us know yours.
Yeah. So the first seed, I got the Lakers. From 1 to 4, it can literally go anywhere. Just based off, if the Lakers can stay healthy, then they'll get the first seed 100%. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, AD needs to stay healthy. LeBron, I don't know, after last year, I don't know if, like, what's going to go on, but I know he can lead this team to the finals again. So if they stay healthy, they can stay first. The Jazz, based off what they did last year, Donovan Mitchell, I almost said Davion Mitchell this time. But like you said, he's a superstar, so he's going to lead the team. They got Rudy Gay as well. So he's a great scorer off the bench. Jordan Clarkson.
They also got Hassan Whiteside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, oh shit. Okay, yeah. So I definitely got them second in the seed, the Western Conference. Then I got the Suns, just based off what they did in the finals. I got fourth. I got the Nuggets. Once Murray comes back, I'm kind of questioning on the Warriors. I feel like they on my list they're fifth, just because Klay Thompson is coming back during Christmas time. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but I feel like they're gonna go up later as the season goes by.
Mm-hmm.
So they could either be fourth or fifth, but I got them at fifth. I got the Mavericks, and then the seventh I got the Blazers. And then eighth, I got Memphis. I don't have the Clippers on my top eight just because Kawhi is out. And I don't really know what other players they have that can really uplift them besides Paul George, Reggie Jackson. Terrence Mann is going to step up this season. I know that.
Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe too. I don't know if DeMarcus is still on the team.
So Serge Ibaka is fully healthy.
Serge Ibaka too, yeah. But I don't know. I don't have them on my top eight. I feel like they're going to go down to the 9th seed. And then I got the Kings with De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, all those players. I just feel like it's going to be competitive within the 8th to the 10th seed. So we'll see.
So you're saying at 10 you have the Kings and Pelicans, at 9 you have the Clippers, 8 you have who?
No, so I have the Lakers first. Clippers are on the list. Yeah, Clippers are 9 for me.
Yeah, no. So who's 8? Who'd you say?
8 is Memphis. Yeah.
And 7 is?
7 is Blazers, 6 is Mavericks, and then 5th is Warriors.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's the thing. Like you said, Mavericks, they could vary, obviously, depending on Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, Klay Thompson, depending on how he comes back, that's definitely going to change their playoff standing and just maybe even their total run in the playoffs, just overall.
Yeah.
The Clippers, I think you're underrating them just because, they were able to hold their own in the conference finals. And basically almost had a fighter's chance if Kawhi was healthy to go to the finals. I think Paul George is going to turn back the clock and turn it to Indiana Jones. Let's say Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
I was waiting for that now. Indiana Pacers, throw it back like to 2012, 2013 when he was going head-to-head against LeBron. And, your list it threw me off a little bit. That's why I had to go back and ask you again. But yeah. All right, Brabs, you tell me your list.
All right, my list is kind of similar to Nugent's, but I'll be kind of brief. So number 1, I got the Lakers, pretty straightforward. Got the King, got the Melo. You got Russell Westbrook. You got hopefully DeAndre Jordan, and then you got
Wayne Ellington, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo.
There's one more person they picked up. Oh yeah, fucking Davis. I forgot about Antonio Davis. So that's like a monster team. So that's easy. Number 1. 2, Suns. You gotta give them love, right? They're gonna get better from here. Led by Chris Paul. That guy's amazing. So he makes people around him better, right? Mm-hmm. Look at OKC. He made Shai better, right? Look at Clippers. He made Matt Barnes good. He made Blake Griffin good. He made all those guys good, right? Even JJ Redick, he made him good too, right? Well, better, sorry. Right? So led by Chris Paul. I'm glad they signed him again. So good stuff there. Number 3 and 4 for me, kind of like depends on a few factors, but I got the Jazz and Nuggets. Jazz 3, Nuggets 4. Like Ajit said, you got Spider, you got Mike Conley, you got all these guys coming back, and you got Bogdanovich? No. Yeah.
Yeah, Bogdanovich, yeah.
Yeah, that guy, he's
not. They got a few shooters.
They shooters. They let Matt Thomas go, which is fine, but they're a shooting team, so they have good role players who understand the role. So you definitely got to give them respect, right? So I got the number 3. 4, I got Nuggets. It all depends on Jamal Murray. But I think you got Michael Porter, who's going to step up again. Even I think he goes to the next level. You got Nikola, who's going to lead them again. I think Nuggets will hold their ground, right? They did while Jamal was gone, and they'll continue that, right? Number 5, I got the Warriors. Number 5 with the return of Klay, with having Curry, Draymond, and Andrew Wiggins. And I don't know if he's still there. Was it Otto Porter? No, what's his name?
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah,
Otto Porter's.
Kelly Oubre's gone. Right? Kelly Oubre got signed with the Charlotte Hornets, but Golden State got Otto Porter.
Yeah, okay. So it's a good squad there. So hopefully they can live back to the 2016, 2015 years, right? They got the Magician at number 6. I think Luka can hold on to Mavericks. I think they may go higher. Tim Hardaway Jr., that guy is stepping up ever since leaving New York. So hopefully he can continue his mojo and help them up. My number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My number 7. So originally I didn't have Clippers on my list at all, like Nugent. I didn't rank them. But thinking back, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be too hard on PG. But my number 7 is Portland. I have, even when they lost Melo, they're my number 7. Similar to what all you guys said, Dame Time, CJ, they'll step up, Norman Powell. So they're a good squad. They'll definitely fight for, I think they'll go even from like 5 to 7, but I have the number 7.
They got Larry Nance too. Don't forget the.
Yeah, Larry Nance.
Larry
There you
Nance,
go. Yeah. Big pickup there. And then I got Clippers number 8. I kind of had Memphis first, but I want to respect PG, so put them number 8. And then my 9, 10, 11, I pick 11 just because I feel like Memphis, Kings, and Pelicans are all going to fight for that spot. Memphis, you got Ja, you got the Canadian kid, you got Dylan Brooks, you got all these guys, right? So I think Memphis will fight for the 8, 9. I got Kings, I got Tyrese Halliburton, and I got Fox. And depending on Buddy Hield, if he's still around, they may be able to fight. And then Pelicans. So with the departure of Lonzo Ball, I think NAW, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, is going to step up and he's going to put up big numbers like he did for Team Canada. So watch out for him. Watch out for Pelicans. And yeah, that's my Western Conference 1 to 11.
One team that we completely just forgot about because they had like a retooling session this offseason was the Spurs. No one talked about them even.
Oh yeah. Fuck them.
Like they're not. No one thinks they're gonna make the playoffs.
I don't know about that. Like they don't really have that many solid players. Like I might be wrong, but just based off how stacked the West is, I don't really think.
You don't think they could be a title contender with Doug McDermott and Zach Collins? All right. Well, like we said, LeBron James, the last time he didn't make the playoffs and he came back, everyone thought he was washed. You saw what he did. He won a championship. And it's the same thing this coming year. I think he's going to stay fully healthy. He always invests in that.
AD just needs to stay healthy. He's so fragile, man.
AD's the key. And since being with the Lakers, LeBron's been able to hold him down and make sure that he stays in games and doesn't just go out for any knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone type injury. But I think the 19th season with the healthy LeBron, I believe that they will be the number 1 seed. And I do think that he's very well motivated to prove people wrong, trying to catch Jordan with those rings, going for his 5th ring. So yeah, I see big things coming in the West and East. You know, a lot of people used to talk shit about the East, saying it wasn't really the same. It wasn't on the same level, but I feel like the top tier teams in the East will smack up a lot of the teams in the West.
For sure. No, 100%.
And this is probably one of the best seasons where you have like loaded teams in both conferences, and it's going to be a fun season to behold. It's going to be a fun season to watch. And Toronto Raptors, I hope my list is wrong because I want them to sneak into the playoffs between 5 and 8. But yeah, any final thoughts about this before we wrap it up?
I think
if this season.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, what I was saying is, like this season's going to be interesting. There's a lot of movement around the league, talent everywhere. I think it's going to be a fun season. I got my eyes on the Bulls. Like I said, they're dark horse on the East. And on the West, I got my eyes on Memphis. I think Memphis will surprise some people. John Morant's sick, and I think he's going to prove people wrong. So I think those are my 2 dark horses in both leagues, both divisions.
I think Utah, you said he signed Rudy Gay. They signed Rudy Gay. They have Hassan Whiteside. But I think they also traded for Grayson Allen.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they did, yes.
But I think he was Utah's draft pick when he got drafted, and he got traded to Memphis.
Yeah.
And now Memphis traded him back. But, yeah, that was the other shooter that they got. When you asked me the question, I didn't remember at the time, aside from Bogdanovich and Joe Ingles. But, yeah, Energy, you had some final thoughts?
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, just to go on with your point, how the season's going to be really good to watch. Everyone needs to stay healthy in order for the season to be good. Because last season, I thought the same thing. Like, I think those are most injuries that we had last season, right?
Felt like, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this season is much different. And I also wanted to mention another dark horse on the Western Conference. I feel like Minnesota, if they can stay healthy, I feel like the addition of Patrick Beverly, and then they got Anthony Edwards, they got D'Lo and Towns. I just feel like they could sneak into like maybe the 9-10 seed, but I'm just saying they're going to be a little higher compared to how they were last few seasons.
Another year of Towns, and Anthony Edwards said he grew a little bit, so he's like, I'm going to be Michael Jordan moving forward. Yeah. And then Karl Anthony Towns, I think with the whole pandemic, with his mom and everything, her passing away, I don't think he really played last season. I think he was injured and like he was out for a while, right?
Yeah.
And D'Angelo, if he can get his shit together again, when he was an all-star for the Brooklyn Nets, I think they can definitely make some noise. But I just think the West is too stacked for them to really make it to the playoffs. And,
So you got the Spurs over the Minnesota Timberwolves?
yeah, I think Greg Popovich just knows how to work his magic. I'm just
Let's
saying.
see, yo. Let's see. Prove people wrong.
It won't matter anyways because they're not making the playoffs. So
No, yo, they're done. Dude, they had that one guy who I cut you off, but that one guy, Lonnie Walker. I think Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, he can step up.
yeah, they got Derek White, they got Lonnie Walker, they got DeJounte Murray.
Yeah,
They signed
those
Doug
two guys.
McDermott. They signed Doug McDermott. They got Zach Collins. They got the young pieces. Greg Popovich is getting up there in age, so I don't know if he's going to be around when these guys actually become another playoff contender. I mean, the streak got broken a couple of seasons ago, right? But yeah.
I'm excited, yo. I'm excited.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you
Don't
haven't
like that
subscribed-
shit, man.
Go fucking like it, bro.
Oh, shit.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it because you see my boy, he's got them guns. Don't fuck around. And we'll be back with some more content. Obviously, the news with the Raptors have been very slow, but whenever we hear something, we come back at it like a bad habit. But till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The price I want for sure you gon' need.